I got some dope advice from my mom today, which I didn't think I was gonna get, but I got it. And that advice, I've heard it 1,000 times, but for whatever reason, it just hit different today. And that advice is pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles. I can't stress it enough. On my plight to become an entrepreneur, on my path or journey to become an entrepreneur, I realized that it's not about adding things to the daily routine or adding things to your life. It's about subtracting things, taking things away. Ultimately, why I moved out of the city and into a place where I could raise my family and get peace of mind. Ultimately, by subtracting ourselves, right? Got simplified versions of cars. I mean, we got all electric, of course, but it's a simpler thing versus the German or the Japanese or whatever, right? Simplified the businesses, simplified the wardrobe, simplified everything, because it's about taking away from. Now, life increased, obviously, but it's about taking away and getting to do more by having less shit and less distractions. So one of the best places I tackled that was in my morning routine. We talk about picking and choosing your battles. I feel like so many people have, oh my goodness, like morning routines up the yazoo. And one of my biggest pet peeves is people who believe that making their bed somehow, some way makes you a better person or entrepreneur. Like, I just think that's the most insane shit ever. And the reason why I believe this, because I learned this concept a long time ago. And again, this goes into picking and choosing your battles. This concept is called decision jewels, right? I can't tell you where I got it from, but I got it. So if you look at someone like Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, they believe, one way, shape, or another, they have only so many decisions they can make per day. So let's say you have 100, for the example's sake. You have 100 decisions for the day. So then when you get up and you have a daily routine that has all these things, now you may think, oh, it's a routine, it's on autopilot. Not necessarily. When you get up, you still have to make decisions. So let's say you have 100 jewels. Let's say now you just burnt one, determining what you're going to write down, your morning journal. Then you burnt another one folding your bed. Then you burnt another one deciding what color socks, what color pants, what color shirt, what color shoes. Literally, before you even got out of your room, you spent 10 decision jewels, right? And then if you compound that, now let's go to breakfast. That's another 10. You orange juice or apple juice or water or a protein shake or, yogurt or this or that, right? Boom. Get in the car. You want to take this path to work or this path to work. You want to let this person in. Don't let this person in, right? And you just continue to compound these jewels. They continue to add up. So then you make it to work. Then they're telling you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to make a decision what to do. Boom. When to respond to emails, what to eat for lunch, what not to eat for lunch, right? What meeting to take, what meeting not to take. And then you have all these things you do. Then when you get back in the car, more decisions. Then when you get home, more decisions with the family. And by the time it's time for you to do anything worth doing, that's really going to ultimately change your life, you spent all your decision jewels for the day. You're burnt. And this is what people don't really get when I say picking and choosing your battles, is you have to simplify this entire process. So there's only so many factors you can control. If you work a job, obviously going to give you work. You can't do shit about that. You have a family, you can't do shit about that. So what can you control? You can control what you wear, how much or how little your wardrobe changes. You can control what you eat, how much or how little your food changes. You can control your daily routine, how much or how little you do every morning. And ultimately what I found just by studying the 8, 9, 10-figure people in the world and in history, it's simplified. I mean, it's extremely simple. Most people just get up and get to it. I mean, if we take Elon Musk, for example, he's quantifiably the most hardest working man on the planet, right? And it can be backed by science and data and numbers and math and network, right? He literally says, I get up and I go straight into work, meaning I get up, I roll out of bed, I go to a place where I can do my emails for an hour. That's his work, his version of work, because he's juggling so many companies and he's making so many decisions. So he's not trying to bottleneck all these teams that are emailing him the night before. So his job is just to greenlight everything as much as he can and solve as much problems as he can for the first hour of his day. Literally, wakes up, goes straight to that. Then he takes a shower, right? Then he eats breakfast and then takes his kids to school and then he's back to work. That's it. If you look at all the successful people in life, they all have that one way, shape, or another. You got to excuse my son's upstairs playing. It's his playroom right under my office. I don't know who designed it this way, but whatever. So ultimately, that's what it boils down to. Picking and choosing your battles. If you want to be successful, you have to pick and choose your battle. You can't fight everything all the time as far as decisions. You have to put shit on autopilot, and then you have to take stuff completely off the board to begin with, or in general. And so, you know, when I run my businesses, we have a uniform. You know, it's a uniform that isn't necessarily like, you know, here's our uniform with our company logo. It's the same outfit. And I teach this in my courses, or I teach this when I used to talk to other, I don't have courses yet, but I'm talking about when I teach it, when I talk to my other fellow Amazon flexors. Like, hey man, we're the same shit every day. Get you some shoes, get you some stuff that all kind of like goes into what you need to do, so you can throw on whatever. You could get dressed in the dark, literally. And if you get dressed in the dark, there's no decision other than to put on clothes. And then once you kind of get past that point, you walk out the house, you look the way you want to look, and you're you know, and it's all tuned to you being successful. So ultimately, that's what it boils down to. You picking and choosing your battles is one of the greatest things I ever learned. And my mom gave me that insight today on a phone call. So I got to thank her for it. But I want you to understand that one of the greatest things I ever learned, and one of the greatest things I will ever, you know, you'll ever hear and you'll ever understand, and it's the simplest advice ever, is to take as much shit off the battlefield for yourself as possible. You already have so much to do. Take it off and then simplify and then get straight to it. Don't spend your morning writing out this big ass brain dump to-do list. I hear people say this every day. I write out a brain dump. You just wrote down 100 things. There's 100 decisions just pulled out of your head. Don't get me wrong. Like, in some cases you need that, but how about you write the brain dump the night before when all the jewels are spent and you got like 3 or 4 left. So first thing in the morning, you don't have to think about doing the brain dump. It's already done. It's already, the task for the day already done. I like to do something called the one task. I got that from James Clear and another YouTuber that I watch. And just focus on the one task, just one task. So the night before, we write the one task. James Clear, and I forgot the other guy's name, he talked about this a lot. Just write the one task down and then go from there. The next morning you wake up, you roll up, you got your, I keep a journal or a scoreboard or a score book. I feel like a damn bookie. So I keep a book with a score, you know what I mean? And all that's in this book is just basically a scorecard. And then that scorecard is just, did I work out? Did I do what I said I was gonna do for my business? Did I say I was gonna do for my other business? And that's it. And literally that's it. So simplify. So pick and choose your battles, simplify your fucking life, take all that bullshit off the board and get yourself in a position where you are just doing the thing that matters and the matters only. That's the way to win the battle. That's the way to win the war. That's the way to pick and choose your battles and win the war ultimately. Okay, so this is video number 2. I am concluding here. I am trying to figure out lighting and all this good stuff, but I'm proud of myself for video number 2, and I will see you in the next one, and I'll keep going, and we'll keep figuring out what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do, and if we even like doing this YouTube stuff. So I'll catch you next one. I'm AJ Charrington. Peace.